Tagart's batting cleanup. First pitch in there for a strike. And the catcher, Lindsay Kavara, batting 6th. Amy Vukovic in the 7th spot. Kaylin Esch hits 8th, and there's a ground ball down to second base. Jenny Marshall up with it and over to first for the first out of the ball game. And finishing out the batting order, Megan Feeser hits 8th, and in right field, Carly Stander bats ninth. And we'll set the defense in just a moment. First pitch to DeAndre is low for a ball. And the defense behind Miller, her battery mate Jenna Loop. And next pitch misses for a ball, 2-0. At first base, Amanda Adelberger, Jenny Marshall at second, Meredith Brunette is the shortstop, Erica Hancock at third. As Miller misses again, 3-0. Lisa Smith patrols left, Stephanie Rice, the fleet-footed one in center field, and Rochelle Friend in right field. As Brittany Miller comes down Broadway with strike one. Linfield in the field wearing their purple uniforms, white numerals and white trim. Swing and a miss, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Wearing shorts tonight as we have a warm day here in Southwest Virginia. Temperatures near 80 degrees. And next pitch fouled off to the right. And WashU in black uniforms, black jerseys, black long pants, red numerals, and white trim. Pitch called, strike 3 on the inside corner. And so DeAndre goes down looking, 352 hitter, her 16th strikeout on the year, second on the team in Ks, as she picks one up there. And it'll bring up Jamie Kressel. Mentioned Kressel, the hero of the ball game yesterday with the solo home run to win the game. 429 average, 11 home runs, 40 runs batted in, and she sends a drive high and deep to right center field. Back goes Rice, and it'll be off the fence. Rounding second and holding up will be Kressel with a stand-up double. And Rice doing a nice job out in center field of keeping her balance as she ran into the fence. 190 down the lines, 220 to straightaway center field. We have a temporary PVC tubing fence arrayed around the outfield, breakaway fence, and Rice nearly went down trying to stop herself, bumping up against the fence.
Rick, like you said, Kressel picking up where she left off yesterday, and that's just about the hardest hit ball that I've seen off of Miller in this entire tournament, and it's a good piece of hitting there from Kressel.
So a 2-out double, and got a pause here. I'm not sure what the issue is.
Yeah, they're working on the fence.
Yes.
Off that, when that ball hit the fence, it kind of knocked it over. Also, the Linfield players knocked it over, so the umpire out there kind of just notches together very easily. So it's a breakaway fence, so it's not danger for the fielders. And
we welcome Kelly Bird, Sports Information Director for Linfield College. Will be joining us for the first couple of innings. And a swing and a ground ball past the diving Brunette at short, rounding third, and coming in to score will be Kressel with the first run of the ball game. And Kelly, we're glad to have you here, but I'm not sure that's what you wanted to see.
Well, the Wildcats, no stranger to having to come from behind, at least not in this tournament so far, but they have come from behind when needed. So still very early in the game.
See how Miller responds. He really hasn't been challenged like you talked about in the opening, Rick, by the opposing batters. This is about the first time that teams have hit her hard, certainly in the same inning. 2 big hits in this inning for the Bears.
Kavara, the catcher, at the plate, hitting .393 on the year, and she flares one out of play off to the right. Kavara with 1 home run, 24 runs batted in. We had the wind whipping out to right field earlier today. It's still blowing out in that direction, but not nearly with the same intensity. And pitch misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Certainly the good news for Linfield. They've got the bats that can, as Kelly said, they've got the bats that can bring it from behind in any contest.
There's a looping foul ball off to the right that will drop to the ground. Count remains 1-2.
Today will set a school record for Linfield for most games played in one season. This is the 49th contest of the year, so it really is the longest season, literally.
And they hope it gets a whole lot longer, as staying alive is the batter Kavara. Kavara on the season walked 8 times, struck out 10, so she generally will put the ball in play. And she does here with a high pop fly to shallow right. Drifting back will be Marshall, and she'll squeeze it for the final out of the innings. But some damage done. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base as the Bears jump out to a 1-0 lead. We'll be back with the bottom half of the first inning in just a moment. You're watching the Division III Softball Championship, brought to you by CSTV.
Washington University 1, Linfield College next to bat.
And we welcome you back to Salem, Virginia, the James I. Moyer Sports Complex. Rick Seidel, Chris Cummings, and Kelly Bird with you as Laurel Sagarts finishing her warm-up tosses. The batting order for the Wildcats of Linfield: Stephanie Rice leading off. Jenny Marshall follows her. Meredith Brunette bats third. Jenna Loop, the catcher, in the cleanup spot. In the 5-hole, it is Amanda Adelberger. Erica Hancock bats 6th. Lisa Smith hitting 7th. And in the 8 spot, it is Candace Fagino, the designated hitter. Rochelle Friend rounds out the batting order. And the defense behind Laurel Sagarts: Lindsay Kavar, her battery mate, Kaylin Esch at first, Megan Feeser at second, Laura DeAndre, the shortstop, Jamie Kressel at third. In left is Krista Swip, Amy Vukovic patrols center, and manning right is Carly Stander as foul ball off to the left side. First pitch swinging is Rice. And Rice on the season hitting .422, no home runs, 22 runs batted in. Kelly, one of 6 players hitting over .400 for your team.
And last year, Stephanie set a single season record for batting average at .429. That has since been exceeded by 3 players on this year's club. So the offensive efficiency has been rather staggering.
Takes ball 1-1. Slaps one slowly down to second. Underhanded flip in time. Nice play by Feeser as Rice gets down the line in a hurry.
I thought Rice was really a catalyst to that win over DePaul yesterday, doing a lot of things on the base pass and getting on base and then on the base pass. So getting her out to lead off the game is big for Sagarts.
And that'll bring up Marshall, the leading hitter on the team, at .446. No home runs, 41 runs batted in. Swings from the left side. Fouls it straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sun could be a factor out in right field in this game. Slaps it foul to the left.
Yeah, Rick, I'm just looking through some binoculars at Washington's right fielder, Carly Stander. She does have the sun right in her eyes. She's squinting a bit. I'm surprised she doesn't have some sunglasses on out there.
Most of the right fielders have.
Yeah.
There's a slow roller down to second. It'll go off the glove of Fieser and be backed up by Stander. I believe they'll score that an error. Let's see. Yep. So E4. And Marshall's aboard at first with one down. Meredith Brunette comes up. Brunette at 414. 6 home runs, 56 runs batted in.
Only the second error of the season down that second base for the Bears.
Strike one called. Shortstop with the most RBIs on the team. And she pops one high into foul ground behind the plate, and it will be caught. Runner tagging going to second, and she's going to be doubled up at second base. Nice throw by Kavara. A strike right down to the second base side of the bag for the tag.
I'll tell you what, Rick, that's the aggressiveness that we've seen out of Linfield the entire tournament on the base paths. Doesn't pay off there, but you kind of got to like the idea of a tough pop foul to the catcher, to Kavara, and she was no hesitation on that tag up and just got caught at second.
So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Laurel Sagarts and the Bears of WashU. WashU coming to bat. They lead. We're through one complete. Our score 1-0. We're back in a moment on CSTV. And welcome back. Rick Seidel, Chris Cummings, and Kelly Bird. It will be Amy Vukovic to lead it off. And she lifts one foul off to the right. Vukovic on the season hitting .355, 3 home runs, 22 RBIs.
We should mention that Vukovic is familiar with some of the Linfield players coming from Portland Central Catholic High School, not far from Linfield.
Strike called, 0-2. How'd you guys miss out on her?
Well, apparently Washington's recruiting efforts were a little more successful.
Yeah, she holds off on a pitch outside, 1-2. And just gets a piece of that high fastball. And we'll reset and do it again. Another pitch fouled back. So up there getting her cuts, Vukovic. Be followed by Esch and Fieser. This one will go straight back into the screen. Another foul ball. Vukovic on the season, in 110 at-bats, has struck out just 9 times. Of course, she's only walked 9 times. Pitch on the way. Line drive right past Miller into center field. Fielded on one hop. That's how hard that ball was hit by Rice, and she'll bring it back in. And the leadoff batter is aboard.
Rick, your key there is your comment. That's how hard that ball was hit. Washington really getting to Miller early in this contest. Something I mentioned last half inning that she hadn't seen the entire 2-day tournament so far.
And with that ball being scorched past the pitcher, it reminded me of in the last ball game, Emory's pitcher, Tobar, got hit in the face by a line drive. Looks like she's going to be okay, but it's a scary moment. And it was a shot like that right up the middle. The pitcher just didn't have time to react, only 40 feet away.
Yeah, I talked with the athletic trainer. She is going to be fine. She's got a little bruising, a little bit of a cut, but didn't have to go to the ER or anything, so she'll be all right.
1-1 pitch. Attempted bunt is popped back to the screen. 1-2 the count to Esch. And Esch for the year, just .232 on the year, has not sacrificed yet this season. Swings and misses, and she is gone. 12th strikeout on the year for Esch, and there's one away. That'll bring up Feeser. Megan Feeser to the plate. 258 this season, 2 homers, 15 RBIs. Another left-handed hitter. Bunts it right back to the pitcher. Miller goes to first, but not in time, as maybe a little communication problem between Erica Hancock charging at third and Miller, and it's going to be a base hit.
Right fielder, number 2, Carly Stander.
Washington early getting these base runners on base. That's something you're going to have to do to match this Linfield offense. You're certainly going to have to score some runs of your own.
And now we go to Stander, hitting .439 at the bottom of the order. 57 at bats on the season. And she pops the bunt back with 1 out, trying to move the runners over. Pops the bunt back foul, 0-1.
Yeah, you know you have a pretty good lineup when you have the luxury of putting your number 9 batter, who's batting .439 on the season.
There's a slap down the left field line, but it'll hook foul.
Rick, and during this 22-game winning streak, or this multiple-game winning streak for the Bears, Stander hitting .567, 17 for 30.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, those are impressive numbers. 8 runs scored, only struck out once in that time.
And she pops it up to the second baseman. Easy play for Marshall, and there are 2 down. Runners will, of course, hold.
The designated player.
In baseball, we'd have the infield fly rule in place. So that brings up Maloof. We go back to the top of the order, and she's up there swinging, fouls the first pitch back. Maloof grounded out to second to open the ball game. So we're still in the second inning, and WashU's already batted around. The more looks you get at a pitcher, the better off you are. Swing and a pop foul over the screen behind home plate. And we've seen, Chris, earlier in this tournament, as teams have gotten a chance to see these pitchers more and more, we've seen them do a better job of timing their pitches.
Yeah, we saw that earlier today, as a matter of fact. In the DePaul-Plattsburgh game, DePaul really off balance for the first 6 innings, but caught up with Jacqueline Lights for Plattsburgh and tied it up in the 7th inning. Plattsburgh ended up winning that contest, but you're exactly right. As you go through that order a couple more times, they catch up.
Missing inside. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Miller wheels and a smash into center field. It'll drop in front of Rice. They will send the runner. Throw on the way. Got her. Rice with a dart from center field into loop. And tremendous assist there. And they cut down the lead runner, Vukovic. And that will be your 3rd out of the inning. Stephanie Rice, Kelly, with a cannon for an arm on that play.
A terrific defensive play, took it on the hop, and no hesitation with her decision to fire it home. Jenna Loop in great position at the plate to tag the runner out and get out of this inning.
All right, and that will go an 8-2, and no runs on 3 hits off Brittany Miller. No errors, 2 runners left on base. Score remains 1-0. We'll be back with the home half of the second inning in just a moment. Linfield and WashU. We're back in a moment on CSTV.
The NCAA Hall of Champions. It's the journey.
And welcome back, Rick Seidel, Chris Cummings, and Kelly Bird. As the catcher, Jenna Loop, stands in. Loop on the season, 438, 11 home runs, second on the team, 50 RBIs, second on the team. And she takes strike one from Sagarts. Sagarts, All-American this year, comes home, fools Loop, little slow roller down to first, and Ash will toss to Feeser for the out.
Rick, I talked about Rice, how she was a catalyst offensively yesterday for Linfield. That's certainly a dart, as you said, from center field to home, getting the runner out, trying to score. And sometimes that can be a momentum builder for Linfield to see if they can do something this inning. Couldn't do it that first at-bat.
Amanda Adelberger stands in, 423, 10 home runs, 50 runs batted in. First pitch strike, 0-1. Swings and fouls one high and deep off to the left, out of play.
Amanda, probably the best pure power hitter on the club, has 11 home runs so far, and is already the career leader in home runs.
She could tie it up here with one swing. Rise ball up high, 1-2.
Linfield just so disciplined at the plate. They don't go for those pitches up high. They get a lot of contact with the ball, even sending them foul just to prolong their at-bat.
The pitch, off speed, chopped foul to the left.
Adelberger, 10 home runs, just 11 strikeouts on the season, 20 walks. So they know what they're doing at the plate. They pick the pitches they want to go after, and even if they don't put them in fair territory, they at least get a bat on them.
Yep, fouls off another one. This is the fourth straight postseason appearance in the tournament for Linfield, their second straight trip to the finals. And you mentioned their ability with the bat. They lead Division III with a .383 team average coming into the tournament here. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another ground ball foul down the left field line.
Kelly, going into the season, was the anticipation that this was going to be such a well-rounded offensive team? Was it a maturation of the players? Was it something they really stressed in the offseason?
Well, I know that the Wildcats knew they would have plenty of offense coming back. The question mark was, what about the pitching? Do we have enough pitching to get us through? Miller and Kendra Strom are both sophomores, and but both had their share of injury problems, so a little bit of uncertainty there.
And takes the next pitch for ball 2. Swing and a high drive deep to left center field. Back near the fence. Makes the catch, does Vukovic. That ball had a little bit too much air underneath it. But Adelberger gave that a ride.
Third baseman, number 12, Erica Hancock.
Sir, you all sit down. They're doing radio right here. They can't see.
And that brings up Erica Hancock, the third baseman, as we get some spectators who are standing in front of us here in the top row of the bleachers to have a seat so we can see better. Hancock at 442, 13 home runs to pace the team, 40 runs batted in. And she's looking at a 1-1 count as she swings through the second pitch. Up high for ball 2.
Hancock, in addition to her 13 home runs, also 10 for 10 on stolen bases.
Now this whole team likes to run. They can get on. Missing again high. 3 balls and 1 strike. believe this is the first count that has gone to 3 balls for Sagarts in the first 6 hitters. Oh, went a little off speed. And Hancock's looking at a full count here. She swings through that. Pitch on the way and up high for a ball. So Linfield with its first base runner, Hancock to first with 2 down. It'll bring up Lisa Smith. Smith for the year. 422, 1 home run, 6 runs batted in. And Hancock on the base is a perfect 10 of 10 in terms of stolen bases. Smith takes high.
Sagart's just her 25th walk issued of the season. With 2 outs, not the worst time in the world to do that.
Pitch comes, missing low and inside. So Linfield may be changing up their strategy a little bit. Instead of coming out swinging, they're trying to make Sagarts put some balls over. Pitch comes. High fly ball down the right field line, drifting into foul territory, and making the grab on the run is Carly Stander for the final out of the inning.
Yeah, that ball hit with the wind, and Stander did a good job of knowing where she was on the field. She was getting pretty close to the fence and just reached her glove out, and that wind certainly was taking that ball a little bit more out into foul territory.
And we're through 2 complete innings of play, as that is a no run, no hit, no error, 1 left on base frame for the Wildcats. Our score, Wash U 1, Linfield nothing. And Kelly, we know you have SID duties to take care of. We appreciate you spending some time with us.
Thanks for the opportunity, Rick and Chris. It's been fun.
All right. And interesting ball game, Chris, so far. We have not seen Linfield backed up at all in this game, in this tournament. But right now, Wash U is behind the arm of Sagarts, I think, really has taken the advantage.
Yeah, that was certainly the key matchup coming in with Sagarts versus the entire Linfield offensive team. And so far, Sagarts is winning the battle. She hasn't given up a hit, which kind of goes along with her season. She's only allowing batters to hit 116 against her this season, which is a very low number. And right now, Sagarts has got the upper hand.
DeAndre, Kressel, and Sagarts to bat this inning as first pitch fouled off to the right. And in a couple moments, we'll be welcoming in Chris Mitchell, the sports information director from Wash U. And off-speed pitch bites the outside corner, just froze the batter. Look at how close to the plate DeAndre stands. She is way up there. Takes high for a ball, 1-2.
Yeah, that's where you think Miller would just pitch that inside corner just to jam her. If you're gonna play that close, you just want to be careful not to hit her. She goes outside on that pitch.
Count goes to 2-2.
But just get that ball right in her hands, and there's not going to be much that DeAndre is going to be able to do with it.
Comes inside, misses 3-2.
You're saying a hitter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's the tough part about pitching a batter inside that's playing that that's standing that close to the plate.
Number 10, Jamie Kressel.
And DeAndre, that is just the first time she's been hit by a pitch in this season. And going down to third base for coaches conference is Kressel.
Yeah, we also got an issue with a cameraman on the field. The umpire, I think, wants him either off the field or further back on the fence. So that's being worked out. There's a little delay allowing Kressel to go down and talk to her third base coach.
And we'll welcome in Chris Mitchell. And Chris, your ball club has really been the aggressor in this game so far, taking it to the Wildcats.
Yeah, they're coming out, and Coach Boudet talked about it in the press conference the last couple games, is that the Bears are going to be aggressive, and that's what she teaches them, to go up there and swing the bat. Yesterday we struck out looking like 5 or 6 times in the first 3 innings, so obviously looking to hit the ball today.
And there Miller finds the inside corner with a nice curveball, strike 1. Kressel doubled in the first inning and scored the lone run of the game on Sagart's base hit. Up and away, ball 1.
Kressel tied the Washington University single season record yesterday with her 11th home run of the season. She has 32 for her career.
Boy, she takes a home run swing there. Throw gets away into center field. Runner will round second, head to third, and make it in sliding safely at third base. DeAndre with the stolen base and advances on the throw from Loop that goes into center field. That's impressive. She was going all the way.
Yeah, DeAndre 7 for 7 now, stolen bases, and Kressel's definitely going to look to get that ball up in the air here to get try to give the Bears the 2-0 lead.
For Loop, just her 4th error of the season behind the plate, came in with a .989 fielding percentage.
So Kressel now facing a 2-2 count with a runner in scoring position, and a high fly ball deep to center field. Rice drifting back. It'll be off the fence. Runner rounding third, and the ball got hung up in the fence, and they're going to send Kressel back to second base, and that's a break really for Linfield, as she easily had a triple on that play, but the ball got hung up in the base of the fence.
Yeah, that's certainly fortunate for Linfield there. Rice, when she fielded the ball, knocked the fence over, and I think at the same time booted it, and it went behind the fence out into the outfield, so that's an automatic ground rule double. But again, a big hit by the Bears, getting to Miller early.
That'll bring up Sagarts, as our home plate umpire Mark Bregman sends Kressel back to second base. Sagarts with the RBI single in the first inning, and fooled on that pitch for strike 1. Diane Carden is at first, and our third base umpire Glenn Colburn for this evening's game. And next pitch swung on and fouled off to the right. So it's 2-0 Bears on top of the Wildcats, as Linfield had been dominant in this tournament to this point, winning their first game 11-0 over Emory, and their second 9-0, as going down on strikes is Sagar.
Yeah, just a nice outside pitch there from Miller, and Sagarts just went for the pitch on the outside corner and just couldn't reach it. Chris, you guys certainly no strangers to Salem, Virginia this season, huh?
Yeah, it's been a great run for the Bears, with our 3rd place finish in basketball and our 2nd place finish in volleyball. So we've had quite a run this season so far in Virginia. I actually was out here for women's soccer over at Virginia Wesleyan in November.
Ball lashed foul off to the right.
How far did the football team reach this season? They were almost close. They were close to getting to the state.
Yeah, we were 6-4 overall. Didn't make the playoffs this season. So yeah, out of our 18 sports, 16 made the postseason this year. So it's been a nice season.
Not bad at all.
Missing high, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to Kavara, who popped out to second to end the first inning. She's 0 for 1. And outside again, Miller. Wash U, for their part, they defeated Plattsburgh State in their opening ball game, as another pitch fouled back by the score of 8-0. And then in an 8-inning thriller, as we mentioned earlier, with the home run from Jamie Kressel in the bottom of the 8th, they defeated Eau Claire 1-0 to get to this point. There's a smash to left center field. That ball is going, and that ball is gone. Home run.
Lindsay Cavara, just her second home run of the season, and what a time to get one out of this park as WashU jumps ahead 4-0 on Linfield.
And that was quite a jack right there. That thing was hit hard, and they got out of here in a hurry. And right now, WashU really putting the screws to Linfield, up 4-0 here, and we are just in the top of the third.
Well, and I look over, Rick, and Linfield sends a pitcher over into the warm-up area.
You know something's going on. There's a soft ground ball to Hancock, who fields it and guns it over to first.
Yeah, it looks like Samantha Van Noy is going to get up. As Miller's getting touched up pretty easily here early.
Sagertz is, she told me in the press conference the other day, she's a much different pitcher when the Bears take the lead. She's much more confident. She feels like she can throw her pitches, and if she does give up a solo shot here or there, it's not going to be as big of a blow to the Bears.
Miller with a strike, 2 strikes in a row to Ash, who struck out swinging in the second and now is in an 0-2 hole with 2 down and nobody on. And that'll do it. Strikeout swinging again. So Ash goes down on strikes, but 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and nobody left on base. At 3 spot on the board for the Bears, they lead the Wildcats 4-0. We'll go to the bottom half of the third when we come back. You're watching the 2007 Division III Softball Championship on CSTV.
Washington University 4, Linfield College 0.
And we are back. Rick Seidel, Chris Cummings, and Chris Mitchell. We've got Chris's everywhere. As Linfield will send Fugino, Friend, and then the top of the order for Rice to the plate. And Fugino on the season, .318 average with no home runs, 4 runs batted in. This is just her 6th start of the season. Fouls, knocks it down to second on the ground. Easy play there for Fieser, and there's 1 away.
Sagart's ERA 0.28. Her career ERA is actually 0.64, which is the 3rd lowest in Division III history.
Yeah, interesting to see Linfield swinging at that first pitch. Thought maybe they would make Sagartz throw a couple more, work her a little more.
Well, Friend looks at strike 1. And Rochelle Friend for the year. .248 hitter with 1 home run, 17 runs batted in. That looked like a knuckleball. She have a knuckler?
Yeah, she'll throw, when she gets ahead in the count, she'll throw that knuckleball or that backhand change, and that's what right there, that was the knuckleball. She doesn't throw it too often, but she does like to switch speeds a lot.
1-1. And there's a swing and a pop-up to short. And DeAndre puts that one away, and we've got 2 down.
Sagart's actually making her 2nd trip to Salem this year. She was a member of the volleyball team, which placed 2nd. So Salem's been pretty nice to Sagart's in her 2 trips so far.
Yeah, but I don't think she wants to come in 2nd again.
No, I would totally agree with you there.
As Rice comes up with 2 outs, which is exactly where the Bears would like to see her, and she slaps that foul for strike 1.
Chris, don't throw anything from me at me from back there, but I'm a Juniata grad, so.
Okay. Yeah, that was a tough loss for Washington University, but I tell you what, Juniata is a class program. Larry Bach is probably the greatest volleyball coach in the history of NCAA.
And it's a great rivalry.
It really is. Unfortunately, we've been on the losing end of 3 out of the last 4 matches against them.
We were on the losing end of about 9 straight national championships, so
I feel your pain, buddy.
As Rice takes ball 1 to go with strike 2. Sagarts to the plate, and Rice stays alive as she was jammed, fouling it straight back.
Huntington, Pennsylvania is a tough place to get to, I'll tell you that.
It really is. It really is.
Pitch comes, and Rice pops it over the head of the second baseman, but charging hard and making the underhand catch for the out is Stander. Stander's been doing a nice job in right field defensively so far in this ball game, and once again the Bears forced the Wildcats to go quietly. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Sagarts, who has it on cruise control right now. We are through 3 complete innings of play. The Bears on top of the Wildcats 4-0. We're back in a moment. You're watching the 2007 Division III Softball Championship on CSTV.
By purchasing championship merchandise today from the NCAA Team Shop, located near the main entrance of the Moyer Complex. The NCAA salutes its 380,000 student athletes participating in 23 sports and 88 national championships. For more information about those 88 championships, log on to ncaasports.com.
And welcome back to Salem, Virginia. Rick Seidel, Chris Cummings, and Chris Mitchell. Hope you're enjoying this one. We are enjoying bringing it to you as our wall-to-wall coverage of the 2007 D3 Championship continues here from the James I. Moyer Sports Complex. And right now the Wildcats in a 4-0 hole. They had not been scored on in this tournament until this ball game, and the Bears on top by a 4-spot. Feeser, Stander in the top of the order with Maloof. And first pitch swinging, a ground ball shoots through the center of the infield for a base hit. So Feeser is aboard. Leadoff batter once again on base.
Megan Feeser coming in 279. She was the hero in game 1 over Plattsburgh State. 3 for 3 with a home run and 6 RBIs. So she's now batting around 600 in this College World Series.
She's 2 for 2 in the game today. And first pitch strike for Stander. Miller really having to work so far in this ball game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if she gets touched up a little bit more in this 4th inning, how long they'll stick with her.
Stander popped out to second in her only appearance. Pitch is outside. Almost looked like a pitch out there. Runner bluffed going.
Carly's younger sister is a senior out there in Arizona. She will be attending Tennessee to play softball next year. So definitely the softball is running in the Stander family.
And the bunt is popped foul. So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stander 4 of 4 on stolen bases this season. Wash U with 42 stolen bases and 46 attempts. I guess that's efficiency. Pitch comes, runner bluffs going again outside to the left-handed hitter. And that makes it 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2 is fouled off. If the batter is moving down the line, no matter whether they swing or not, they'll call that a swinging strike if it's fouled off, not a bunt.
Right, right.
You really have to square to bunt for them to
Yes.
call you out on strikes. Because that looked more like a bunt than anything else. Runner goes, throw down. They got her. And on the play, they're going to say the batter struck out as well. Is that correct? No.
I'm not for sure what happened there.
No.
Feeser gave up on that steal in second. And I'm thinking head coach Leticia Pineda-Boutte is talking to Stander. She might have missed a sign there.
Yeah, because she started to run toward the dugout and now is coming back to hit. So they're calling the pitch a ball at 2-2. The ball was up high, and Loop with a nice throw down.
I'm not for sure what happened with Feeser there running to second.
Yeah, she stopped a good 3 feet from the bag and pretty much conceded that she was going to be out.
I think everybody got confused. There's a slow roller off the pitcher's arm, and it'll be an error on Miller, and safe at first will be the batter Stander. Just kind of slapped that right back to her, and didn't look like that tough a play.
Stander continues to dominate from that 9-hole. She's been on base 4 out of 5 times so far here in the College World Series.
So we go to the top of the, to Swip rather, at the bottom of the order. I mean, we go to the top of the order. I'm correct. I shouldn't second guess myself. And Maloof, who is 1 for 2 with a base hit.
Carter Maloof, a second team All-American as a freshman DP this season, hitting close to 400.
She wanted that one, but let it go. It hits the outside corner. 0-2 now.
Rick, I'm watching Brittany Miller here for Linfield, and she might be in a little bit of pain, a little bit of grimacing and walking very gingerly.
Has a huge knee brace on the left knee. Swinging a drive into left field. That ball will get through to the fence. And the runner will be held at third. Stander will stop at third. In with a stand-up double is Maloof.
Yeah, and you can just see Miller. She's just not walking at full strength.
So with one down there, runners at second and third, and DeAndre comes up, and we're going to have a conference at the mound as Jackson Vaughn will come and get Miller. You're right, she's coming out. And so we'll have a pitching change, and we'll see Samantha Van Noy, a 5'3" freshman, is going to come in for the Wildcats to take over.
Rick, I was looking out there. I thought that was WashU's coaching staff with the red shirts, and those are our colors, and Linfield's got the purple. I was a little confused there for a minute.
Van Noy comes into the contest 10-2 overall, a 3.26 earned run average. She struck out 37 batters, giving up 13 walks, giving up 34 runs, all of which have been earned. It's interesting. You don't typically see that many runs, all earned runs.
Well, it's true, but you got to. Linfield leads D3 in fielding, or second nationally in fielding percentage at .974, so that helps.
Yep.
Rick, with the heart of the order coming up, this is a big point for Linfield if they want to stay in this contest with Sagerts on the mound for the Bears.
No doubt about that at all. 4-0 they trail right now, the Wildcats do, and there's only one down, so you've got runners at second and third with less than 2 outs. And DeAndre at the plate.
Sorry, Rick. Washington's going to have to adjust to the different pitching style of Van Noy as she kind of goes to the side as she pitches, but brings that ball still straight across. So it'll be coming from a little bit of a different angle. I'm sure Washington batters will be able to adjust quickly.
Nothing like a little pressure as Van Noy. She's going to face the 2, the 3, and the 4 hitters for Washington University with runners on second and third with just 1 out.
First pitch, misses, ball 1. Comes in, swinging a high drive to left field. Ball is going. That ball will go off the glove and over the fence. They're calling it a fair ball, and it is not a home run, and 2 runs will score. Maloof and Stander both come in to score on the double by DeAndre. That ball goes off the glove of the left fielder Smith in the field of play, and she crashes into the fence. She and the ball hit outside of the field of play, but they do not call that a home run. And 2 runs scored. DeAndre ends up at second with a 2-run double.
Well, I guess they adjusted very quickly to Van Noy's different approach. Smith did a great job of just sticking with that ball. That could have easily been a home run, and she just, more than even attempting to catch it, I mean, she did attempt to catch it, but just knocked it back into the field of play, or kept it in the field of play.
And that ball is lashed foul off to the left.
Certainly Linfield now dangerously close to getting to that 8-run rule.
Wow, this is 180 degrees from what we've seen from the Wildcats in the first 2 games of this tournament.
Yeah, but you got to credit Washington University. They're coming out, they're hitting a good pitcher.
And missing inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down, runner at second base in the person of Laura DeAndre. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of the catcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch on the way, got her swinging. It's kind of an interesting motion there by Van Noy. She kind of hopped to the outside of the rubber and then threw back across to the inside. That's a lot of movement.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about when she first came in, whereas Miller came straight through. Van Noy does have that little hop to the side, but Washington figured it out very quickly in that the first batter she faced.
So they get past the dangerous Kressel with a strikeout. Kressel had a pair of doubles so far in the game, and it brings up Sagarts. Hard liner off the glove of the first baseman, and the flip by Marshall. Great play backing up Marshall, backing up Adelberger, and that will do it.
Very rarely seen 3-4-3 put out.
And but the damage is done there, as we have 2 runs scored on 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on. So we will go to the home half of the 5th inning, 6-0 with the Bears on top of the Wildcats when we come back on CSTV. And welcome back. Rick Seidel, Chris Cummings, and Chris Mitchell, as the Wildcats will send up the number 2, 3, and 4 hitter. And right now, you got to think they've got to make something happen here. Got the meat of the order coming up, and you're down by 6.
Yeah, you need to get some runs on the board. And the way Washington University's hitting the ball, you've got to assume that they're going to continue to hit the ball.
There's a little nubber back to the pitcher. Sagart's down to first, not in time. Marshall beats out the infield hit. Well, that'll get you started as we're in the bottom half of the 4th inning here.
The Wildcats just trying to get some runners on bases. They can chip away at this 6-0 lead.
And this is a team that likes to run. Tell us a little bit about Kavara's arm.
Well, Kavara actually has allowed just, as Kressel makes a nice play on a foul ball over near the Linfield bench. Kavara has had 8 people try to steal on her, and just 3 have been successful this season. So the Bears have only given up 11 stolen bases in 39 games this season, and obviously it helps with Laurel Sagarts on a mound that's thrown beat in the mid-60s.
As Loop swings and misses on the first pitch. That's Brunette, who fouled out there to the 3rd baseman on a play up against the fence. Sagarts to the plate, it's low.
The Bears actually had a lineup change before this game. Ashton Hitchcock, the starting left fielder, batting around 400, was injured in the last game, so she was replaced by Krista Swip, making her first start of the tournament in left field.
As Sagarts misses again, 2-1. Well, maybe that was the key. It really to get your team uncorked here.
Kind of shook things up maybe a little bit.
Yep. As Loop fouls one straight back.
You know, we talked earlier, the Bears just were not aggressive at the plate against Wisconsin Eau Claire yesterday, and obviously Coach Boudet has got the Bears rolling here as they've racked up 10 hits and through 4 innings.
Loop 4 for 7 with 7 runs batted in. Coming into this ball game. And so far today, she has 1 ground out to her credit. And count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And there's a smash into left field. That's a solid single, and we've got runners at first and second.
And it's what we talked about earlier, Rick. Finally, they're starting to come around through the lineup again and figuring Sagart's out a little bit and starting to get some good contact with the ball.
It'll be Amanda Adelberger.
Adelberger had a nice at-bat in her first at-bat in the second inning. She's got 10 home runs and 50 RBIs. So this should be an interesting matchup between Adelberger and Sagarts with 2 runners on and only 1 out.
And, well, that's an interesting at-bat as she gets plunked. Sagarts held on to that one a little too long, release point, and just bopped her in the shoulder. You could hear Adelberger yelp from up here, and she will go down to first on hit by pitch. But what that's going to do is fill up the bases.
We also got a pinch runner coming in for Adelberger at first base.
Yep.
Number 34, Janessa Peterson. She's appeared in 31 games for Linfield, all as a sub. She's only had 1 official at-bat, but she has scored 12 runs.
Sagarts got in trouble yesterday in the 7th against Eau Claire with the bases loaded and 1 out, and she got a ground ball back to her. She threw to Kavara. Kavara threw to Esch at first to get out of the inning. So we'll see how Sagarts responds once again with the bases loaded.
2 double plays, if I remember, for your ball club in that game. The last ball game.
That's correct.
Yep. And Hancock stands in. Hancock walked in the second inning. And
Hancock 442 on the season, only 11 strikeouts, and as you just said, a walk this game, that gives her 13.
And that's up high. Hancock earlier this year set a single season home run record for the Wildcats.
Yeah.
So she's got some big time power.
Yeah, so if you're Linfield, this is the batter you want at the plate.
Oh, what's a beauty. That's a heck of a fastball on the outside corner at the knees by Sagarts, and that evens the count at 1-1.
Look for Sagarts to stay on that outside corner of the plate against the home run leading Hancock for Linfield.
Now she comes inside, and Hancock gives it a rip, fouls it straight back, so it's 1-2. Sagarts ahead in the count now.
This is probably the biggest at bat, if you guys would agree, for the Wildcats with their best hitter up with the bases loaded.
Yeah, you'd like to see Hancock do something, at least a deep fly ball to at least plate 1 run.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better opportunity. Pitch comes. She lays off the off-speed pitch, and it drops over the outside corner.
That was that backhand change from Sagarts that she likes to throw when she's up in the count.
That was impressive. That's why she's an All-American. And now it'll be up to Lisa Smith. Smith fouled out to the right fielder, Stander, in her only time at bat, ending the second inning. And she nearly gets hit. Dancing out of the way, spinning away from the pitcher's mound.
And this is certainly no easy task for Sagarts either. Lisa Smith, after breaking her arm, has come back and played in 23 games. She's batting .422.
Sagarts has hit just 6 batters this season, looking a little wild this inning.
It comes in low. Yeah, Smith, they didn't expect her to come back after that broken arm, but she worked the rehab really hard and was determined to return. She is one of the leaders on the ball club. An opportunity to lead by example right now. 2-0 the count to her. 2 down, bases loaded. Strike called inside corner.
Certainly had that big play out in the outfield that probably prevented the home run the last inning. Did Smith.
Sagart's a long look in. Here comes the pitch. She goes off speed and nails it again.
That's that backhand change once again from Sagarts to get the count at 2-2.
Yeah, she was behind in the count that time. You said she likes to throw it when she's in front.
I know everything I've said, she's done exactly the opposite. It's like I've never seen him play before.
Swinging a ground ball to short. It'll get under the glove and past the left fielder as well. 1 run is in. 2 will score. Peterson will be waved home. And Smith will wind up standing up at third base. Got to give her a single on that, but then there's going to be an error on the left fielder.
Yeah, certainly a hit in a 2-base error there. by Krista Swift, who Chris mentioned was a late insertion into the lineup for the Bears.
So we give how many RBIs on that play?
It was probably going to be 2 RBIs because I believe they were sending the runner from second right away. Peterson will be not an RBI. And at this point, certainly an unearned run.
Yep. And that chops the lead in half. They're only going to give her 1 RBI. That'll bring up Candace Fagino. Fagino so far grounded out to second base. Boy, this changes the momentum in the game, Chris.
Yeah, it does, absolutely. Big error by Swift there in left field to allow 2 more runs to score. It should be, still could be 6-1, obviously with the bases loaded. But what a big turning point right there.
And this is also huge right here. You got a runner right down at third base. They get this one, and it's only a 2-run game. And psychologically, there's a big difference in a softball game at this level between 3 runs and 2.
Absolutely. That was a huge hit by Lisa Smith to get the Wildcats back in this ball game. This game's a long way from being over.
Pitch on the way, goes off speed again, and she's way out in front. That was a hard hit ground ball down to short, and DeAndre, an excellent fielder, not able to get the glove on top of it. Really couldn't get her body in front of it even. Oh, just missing high.
Segarts, who came in with 308 strikeouts on the season, just 1 so far here through 3 2/3 of an inning. I don't know if she's wearing down a little bit, but she's also facing the top hitting team in Division III, so that has a big impact on that.
And this one low, runs the count to 3-2. I tell you what, though, I love Segart's moxie. So far, watching her in this tournament, she will throw anything, anytime, anywhere. And she's got power to go with the change of speeds. Here comes the payoff pitch. Popped up in front of home plate. Segart's coming in, and she'll take it herself, and that will retire the side. But the damage done as the Wildcats come up with 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error. They leave 1, and they cut the lead in half. Right now, the Bears come to bat as we go to the top half of the 5th inning. 6-3 Bears over the Wildcats when we come back on CSTV.
Scoring game number 11 of the 2007 NCAA Division III Softball Championship. Washington University 6, Linfield College.
And let's see, Peterson ran for Adelberger.
Returning to first base for Linfield College, number 16, Amanda Adelberger. Now batting for the Bears, the catcher, number
All right, welcome back. Rick Seidel, Chris Cummings, Chris Mitchell with you. And now it's up to the Bears to see if they can respond. Now leading 6-3. And they will send Kavara, Vukovic, and Esch to the dish.
Rick, I
And
think the response really has got to come from Linfield pitcher Samantha Van Noy. She's got to hold the Bears off the board or certainly limit their runs. Can't give that momentum back to Washington University.
well, she falls behind in the count. 1-0. And then misses inside.
I believe that should be a 3-0
I thought that's 3
count.
balls
Yeah, that's
and
a
no
3-0
strike count. I looked at the board.
Yeah, that's a 3-0 count.
Pitch comes, and she misses inside, so that is a 4-pitch walk to Kavara. And Kavara, with the big home run her last time up, is on base for the 2nd time. She's 1 for 2 in the game now with the walk.
Amy Vukovic, the Oregon native, coming to the plate, 1 for 2 so far here. 3:55 entering the ball game.
And she looks at a pitch inside. So Van Noy, Chris, is having a lot of trouble locating her pitches right now.
Yeah, I'm sure now the Washington batter's just going to look at some pitches until Van Noy can throw one over the plate, which she does right there.
1-1 the count. Vukovic, a second-team All-American a couple of years ago. Swing and a flare over shortstop. That will drop in, and it'll be a base hit.
The Bears continue to hit the Linfield starting pitchers. They now have 11 hits on this afternoon, and Coach Leticia Pineda-Butte, Kaylin Esch coming to the plate. She's just batted 2 times here in the regional and struck out both times, and I'm guessing they're going to go to Caitlin Hoffman, the freshman from Buffalo Grove, Illinois. She's been primarily a pinch hitter all season, 238 batting average, no home runs, 4 RBIs.
And let's see as we get our new lineup card all squared away.
Chris, I know she's a catcher, so I've got to ask about Kavara's speed down at second base.
Well, I don't think we talked about that in the game the other day. Kavara, not one of the quicker runners on the team. Actually, they're going to pinch run here with Katie Johns. And we talked about Katie Johns earlier. She's from also the other Oregon native. So we got two ducks on the pond, as they would say, from Oregon.
Oh. You've been working on that one?
No. Actually, I just kind of thought about that now.
Spontaneous.
But I'm sure the Oregon fans will like that one.
And the pinch runner again at first base.
Second base will be Katie Johns, pinch running for Lindsay Kavara, the catcher.
Okay.
Chris, you and Coach Booty must have been on the same page there.
And the flip to third on the ground ball to short is not handled by Hancock. A little backhand flip from Brunette, and it'll be safe at all bases.
Should go down certainly as a fielder's choice, but then an error probably allowing Johns to reach third base.
They're going to go with an E5 on that play, the fielder's choice E5.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not what the Wildcats were looking for as they trim this lead to 6-3, and now the Bears have loaded the bases with no one out. And Megan Fieser, who's really had a heck of a College World Series so far, going 6 for 8 from the plate with a home run and 6 RBIs.
Yeah, this is what I talked about coming into the inning. Just Van Noy just couldn't give the momentum back to the Bears, and credit the Bears, they've taken it right back.
Still nobody out in the inning, and the bases are loaded. And Fieser, who is 2 for 2, pair of singles, stands at the plate. She tops one back to the pitcher, who comes home for 1. No throw down to first.
Rick, I was just going to comment, Linfield coming apart at the seams fielding. They come in at 974 as a team, committed 3 errors in this game, but that's a nice play there from Van Noy to get that lead runner, an important first out.
And we've got
we're going to have another pinch hitter. Carrie Kreitman will be pinch hitting for Carly Stander. Stander, the Bears' leading hitter at .439, but she is a slapper. In recent games this year, Coach Boudet will go to someone with a little more pop when there's some runners on base. So Kreitman will be batting for Stander in the 9-hole.
Pinch hitting for Carly Stander in the 9 spot. Number 9, Carrie Kreitman.
Kreitman this season, 268, no home runs, 6 RBIs.
Looks at ball 1 there from Van Noy.
Yeah, 1 away in the inning. Now 7-3 our score. As the Bears looking for more here. Excuse me. 6-3. 6-3. Error on the scorebook. We've got a scorebook problem, Chris, from a couple plays ago.
That's all right. Nothing we can't fix.
That's right.
We'll be glad to take that run, but I don't think Kelly Bird will like that mistake too much.
No, I don't think so. And jams are inside, pulling it foul out of play. Count goes to 1 and 2. The first fielder's choice. Yeah. And the 1-2. And that one is ripped foul to the left.
This season, Kreitman pinch hitting is 0 for 5. So we'll see what she can do here. Down 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, and bases loaded for Washington University.
Rick, when you're surrounded by SIDs, we'll look at that automated scorebook worked out for you.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
And dancing away from the pitch inside is Kreitman. Nearly gets beaned. See, there's where you take one for the team. You know?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Pitch comes inside again, tries to pull it and pulls it foul.
Kreitman's really seen the ball well, as this has been about a 10 pitch at bat here against Van Noy.
Van Noy comes home, and again, this time on the ground, lashed foul. Wind still blowing out to right.
My computer still says 80 degrees. What a beautiful day here in Salem.
Mm-hmm.
Much better than Friday. 50s on Friday and windy. The wind hasn't stopped all tournament, though.
And now really blowing out that way as Van Noy misses and runs the count full. Pitch comes, ground ball, chopped down toward the dugout. Bottom of the 5th, 6-3 Bears on top of the Wildcats. This is our winner's bracket game today. The only remaining undefeated teams in the tournament.
Rick, and like you said, the winner of this game is in the driver's seat tomorrow for a national championship.
And strike 3 called. Kreitman on her way to first. Thought she drew the free pass. And that is a nasty pitch at the knees on the inside part of the plate. And that makes it 2 outs now. And if they can get Maloof, no small feat, they can get out of the inning with no damage done.
Maloof's really been seeing the ball well today, as she's singled and doubled 2 for 3 with a run scored as she creeps back into that 400 batting average.
Takes high, ball 1. Rolls one back to the pitcher. Nice backhanded stab by Van Noy, who helps her own cause and throws a strike over to first base to retire the side.
So it looked like Linfield was going to hand some of that momentum right back, but bases loaded, like you said, no damage done, Rick. And Linfield's got to be pumped up that they come out of that inning still just trailing by 3 runs.
No runs, 1 hit, 1 error. 3 runners left on base. The Wildcats escape. They come to bat trailing 6-3 against the Bears when we come back on CSTV.
Don't forget to support your team by purchasing championship merchandise today from the NCAA team shop located near the main entrance of the complex. The NCAA would like to thank our corporate champions, AT&T, Coca-Cola, and Pontiac, and our corporate partners, DiGiorno, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, The Hartford, Lowe's, and State Farm Insurance. Their support has enhanced NCAA championships and the educational and athletic experiences of our 380,000 student athletes. Returning to catcher for Washington University, number 13, Lindsay Cavara. Returning to first, number 22, Kaylin Ash. And Returning to right field for the Bears, number 2, Carly Stander.
And we are back. Rick Seidel, Chris Cummings, Chris Mitchell with you as the Wildcats will send the number 9, 1, and 2 hitters to the plate. Friend will lead off 0 for 1 on the ball game. Popped out to short. And blowing it right by her is Sagarts, who's had a nice rest over there on the bench.
Big task for Rochelle Friend here, leading off the bottom of the 5th inning. Linfield finally got the leadoff batter on in the 4th and got 3 runs out of it.
And she rolls one foul down the first baseline.
Sagert's with just 1 strikeout. She has just allowed 3 hits today, and that 1 earned run and the costly error in left field has allowed Linfield to jump right back into this ball game.
Chris, the 1 strikeout for Sagarts. I've been impressed with Linfield. They're just a very disciplined team at the plate. Don't swing at a lot of bad pitches and get a lot of bats on the balls.
Strike 3 called.
As I say that.
You know, Chris, it's been like that all game. Every time I say something,
Yep.
they do exactly the opposite. But yeah, I mean, Linfield has been impressive. They have fouled off a ton of pitches, and man, they go up there hacking and being aggressive, just like WashU. Both these teams have been aggressive at the plate today.
So we go to the top of the order in Rice, and she chops one foul off to the left. One of the keys to this Linfield Ball Club is Rice getting on base, and she is 0 for 2. She has not sniffed first base yet. And she slaps one down the left field line, and over to make the play is Swip. And so Rice is retired, and Linfield, yesterday we saw them against, in their ball game yesterday, they were getting everything to drop in.
Against
DePaul, yes. Some beautiful contact hitting where they were just hitting the ball where it was pitched and poking base hits all over the place as Sagarts uncorks one to the backstop.
Yeah, that at bat there, you got to credit the Washington coaching staff. They had their defense set up perfectly for Rice, and Swip really didn't have to make much of a play at all to come. She played in and a little bit down the line and or hugging the line a little bit, and good coaching by the Bears.
Yep.
Swip's that was Swip's first error of the season in the 5th inning. She's really been a nice defensive replacement for Washington University late in the games this season.
Marshall is 1 for 2, singled and scored back in the 4th. Reached base on an error in the 1st. And she squibs one down to third, foul ball. Nice arm displayed by the third baseman, Kressel. Sagart's a large woman. How tall is she? Do you know, Chris? Oh, we've temporarily lost Chris. So the count, 2 balls and 1 strike to Marshall. And she fouls the next one back for 2-2.
Sorry about that, guys. Mom was calling and she needed an update on the Bears, so can't let Mom hang in there.
Oh, fine. We don't rank with Mom. Great. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Marshall. And 1 hopper right back to the pitcher. Sagarts flips it over to first. And a quiet 1-2-3 inning once again for the Wildcats.
Rick, you talked about Sagarts' moxie. She's very calm down there. That ball came right back to her, and just like it was nothing, threw it over to first base. She's a very impressive pitcher.
So we will go to the top half of the 6th inning with the Bears on top of the Wildcats, 6-3. When we return, you're watching the 2007 Division III Softball Championship on CSTV.
Equipment supplier of today's Division III Softball Championship. Fans, you can get your morning coffee on the Double A Zone, the official blog of the NCAA. Each morning, learn about the hot topics affecting college sports and join the informed discussions that take place on a daily basis. Go to doubleazone.com to enter the conversation.
And back in Salem, Virginia, Rick Seidel, Chris Cummings, and Chris Mitchell as we go to the top half of the 6th inning. And it will be DeAndre, Kressel, and Sagarts. DeAndre is 1 for 2. She doubled, knocked in 2 runs in the 4th, and also reached on a hit by pitch back in the 3rd. And Van Noy misses for ball 1. And missing, nope, hits the inside, nope, misses the inside.
Yeah, just a little bit inside.
That was close, yep.
Well, DeAndre plays so, we were talking about that earlier, standing so close to the plate.
Missing outside, 3-0.
You've got to be careful not to hit her, but at the same time, you want to jam her a little bit when somebody's that close to the plate. You can put some balls on their hands.
Every inning since the 1st, the Bears have put the leadoff batter on base, and you just can't win softball at this level doing that, and they send another leadoff batter down to first as DeAndre walks on 4 pitches.
DeAndre had been on base 3 out of 4 times now, setting the tables for the big guns, Jamie Kressel and Laurel Sagarts.
She always set up that close to the plate when she's at the bat.
Yeah, she's done that her entire career. She's been batting in the 6 hole all season, but they moved her up with Ashton Hitchcock that suffered the injury yesterday.
What's amazing to me there is that earlier that was her first time she was hit by a pitch all season. That close to the plate, you would think it would be a little bit more than that.
And it's amazing because she was almost hit a second time right there when she walked to first, Chris.
Yeah.
First pitch in there for a strike. And a swing and a high fly ball to left field. Rice is going to come on and take the play. And she covered a lot of ground. That was straightaway left field. And Stephanie Rice decided she was in charge. And there's 1 away.
Yeah, she had a beat on that the whole way. Lisa Smith out in left field, I think, thought it was a little bit deeper than it was and broke a little bit too far to the fence, and Rice was able to come in and undercut her and get the catch.
And Sagart's lashing at the first pitch, hits it foul off to the right.
Sagart's had her career game against #1 ranked St. Thomas, the 04 and 05 champions in the regional semifinals. She went 2 for 4 with 2 two-run home runs and all 4 RBIs in the 4-1 victory.
And she takes a pitch on the inside corner, 0-2 the count.
St. Thomas, a very solid program, too. That championship team, that was one of the best teams I've ever seen.
Yeah, 2004 or 2005, we were 47-1 heading into the regionals, and they beat us 9-0 and 8-0. So,
yeah.
And Sagart whiffs, swinging at the 3rd pitch. So she goes down on strikes. And so they're now 2 away, and it'll be Kavara.
Van Noy's really done a nice job since she's came out of the pen. 2 1/3 inning, 2 hits, no earned runs, and 2 strikeouts.
And Kavara at the plate, 1 for 2. The big 2-run homer also has a walk to her credit. And she lines one to shortstop, and Brunette grabs it on the fly, and there are 3 away. So, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. We'll go to the home half of the 6th inning with the Wildcats still trailing 6-3 to the Bears when we come back on CSTV. All right, we're back. Rick Seidel, Chris Cummings, Chris Mitchell. We go to the Wildcats half of the frame. Brunette, Loop, and Adelberger. Facing Sagarts. And Brunette on the ball game has fouled out twice, 0 for 2. Swings on the second pitch. Looping line drive, and a diving catch is made in left field, and that's Swip laying out, giving up her body to get the put out on the dying quail fly ball by Brunette.
Boy, she sure made up for that error there. What a great, that was one of the best plays I've seen this season by the Bears.
So Loop, who is 1 for 2, has a base hit in 2 trips, and she'll take ball 1. Swing and a drive into the gap in right center field. That will get through to the fence. On her way to second with a stand-up double is Loop, who continues her torrid hitting here in the championship.
That makes that play by Swip even more important. You never know what's going to happen after a hit, but if Swip doesn't make that catch, you get a runner on base, and on a double, Linfield might cut the lead to just 2 runs there.
First baseman, number 16,
Amanda Adelberger, big pop in this bat coming up. She is 0 for 1, was hit by a pitch in the 4th. And first pitch misses for a ball. One down, runner on second base, swinging a towering pop fly to the infield. And charging hard, calling off the pitcher and making the grab is Kressel. And that is a big out.
That was a big out.
Yeah, Kressel took command right away of that pop foul. Didn't want her pitcher to go after that. Sagarts, and the entire time was calling for the ball. Good communication.
And she had a better angle anyway coming in. It was hit straight out toward the pitcher's circle. Good communication by the defense.
I was just looking at these Linfield stats. These 3 girls here in a row have 34 home runs combined. I mean, what a dangerous 4, 5, and 6 batter Sagarts is going through right here.
Well, Hancock 0 for 1 with a walk. And there's that changeup. Missing it with it this time, but my goodness. That is just a nasty pitch. Sagarts to the plate. Hancock watches a strike go over the inside corner.
Exactly what you were talking about, Chris. I think that makes Sagarts' performance today all the more impressive. Just 1 earned run facing this much of a dangerous lineup.
Yeah, Linfield really has a nice lineup.
Smash down to first, and that is grabbed out of self-protection on the rope by the first baseman, Ash. And that will retire the side. But I tell you, they're hitting the ball a bit harder off of Sagarts at this point. No damage done here. And the double by Loop goes for naught. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. So we'll go to the top half of the 7th inning, right, with the Wildcats on top, trailing the Bears by the score of 6-3. You're watching the 2007 Division III Softball Championship on CSTV. And welcome back. Rick Seidel, Chris Cummings, and Chris Mitchell. Amy Vukovic will lead it off. 2 for 3, a pair of singles in the ball game. Be followed by Esch and Fieser. Takes inside.
Guys, we talked about it since he's come in, but what a huge inning for Van Noy right here. 7th inning, trailing 6-3. The last thing she wants to do is give up more runs to the Bears.
Well, she misses away, 2-0.
Since entering, Van Noy's walked the leadoff batter both times.
There's a little pop-up to short. Easy play for Brunette, and there's one down. And see if Esch will hit for herself.
I'm guessing
yes,
she
she
will because she can't go out, and they're going to keep her in there for defensive reasons.
Yep, she will hit for herself. Pair of strikeouts swinging in the game. And she wails away at that one. Nothing but air.
I think she's got a pair of different shoes on as well, Rick. She's got one white and one black.
Chris, I'll have to ask her dad about that. He's the head football coach at Illinois Wesleyan. I don't know if she's got a kicking shoe on there or what. Almost looks like like she'd be kicking some field goals or something with that left foot.
The high pop foul off the third base side, and over near the seats, Hancock has it go in and out of her glove.
You know, Chris, the more I actually look at it, the more I think it's the same shoes, but she's actually got one shoe all taped up.
Yeah, I was just looking at that myself.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
You got the binoculars.
So that's interesting, yeah.
This guy's a smart color man right here bringing us binoculars.
Yeah, well, you never know. Swing and a miss, and she's gone. Third swinging strikeout for Esch, so she's had a rough day at the plate. It'll bring up Fieser, and Fieser on the day is 2 for 3, a couple of singles.
Yeah, Rick and I have worked together for several years, and he's called me a lot of things, but smart's certainly not one of them.
At least not to your face.
No.
And first pitch misses outside.
Like you said earlier, the winner of this game will advance to the national championship game at 2:30 on Monday.
It's East Coast time.
While the loser will fall to the final of the losers bracket on Monday at noon, also East Coast time.
Yeah, and you get into that 2:30 game, and certainly all you need to do is win once. If you're coming out of that loser's bracket, winning twice is very difficult.
About a 40% chance of rain tomorrow in the afternoon. So
hopefully
really? Hopefully the sunny skies will stay with us.
Swing and a little looper out to short, and Brunette drifts back and puts it away. And so Washington University goes quietly here in their half of the frame. And when we come back, it'll be bottom of the 7th. Last 3 outs, last chance for the Wildcats. They need 3 runs to tie this thing up. 4 will win the ball game for them. And again, the winner of this game stays in the winner's bracket and has the fast track to a national championship. Right now, we'll step aside. You're listening to the 2007 Division III Softball Championship right here on CSTV. All right, here we are, set to go. Lisa Smith will get things started. She's the one with had that big base hit earlier in the ball game. Knocked in a run back in the 4th inning. And additional runs scored on 2 other additional runs scored on the error.
Right.
Smith stranded at 3rd. 1 for 2 in the game. And the Wildcats need base runners here. Sagarts pops the glove high, ball 1.
Sagart's going against the 7-8-9 batters, but your number 7 batter batting .422. Your number 8 batter, number 318. So certainly no easy task at the bottom of Linfield's lineup. Maybe a little bit easier.
And she changes speeds and puts that one over. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Rick, I was checking some of the Division I scores. Alabama defeats Tennessee Tech 19-10, and that's not a football, that's a softball score.
Goes with the knuckleball, misses 2-1, much to the dismay of the Wash U fans in the bleachers to our right.
Maybe Tennessee Tech can give Sagarts a call in the offseason and get a good pitcher up there.
Or Alabama, either
or
one.
Alabama, either one.
Pitch comes, swing, and a line drive into shallow left field. That will drop as she reached out with the end of the bat and pulled it over the shortstop's head. So Smith is aboard with her second base hit of the ball game. That'll bring up Fagino, and Fagino 0 for 2 on the game. And she looks at strike 1. Fagino, with her top hand on the bat, has her index finger extended. Check this out. She doesn't have the finger wrapped. See how that stands up the bat barrel, bat handle? Next pitch up high for a ball, 1-1.
Yeah, and it stays the whole time. Sometimes you think it would maybe she would tuck it in, but
interesting idiosyncrasy. And the 1-1. Just hits the outside edge. Boy, that painted the black right there by Sagarts, 1-2.
Sagarts ahead 1-2 on the count, like you said there, and look for her to either throw that backhand change or to throw the rise right here.
And she comes, looked like a fastball, fouled off to the right.
Me and Lindsay Kavar, I guess, are not on the same page today with her pitch calls.
Is Lindsay able to call her own?
Yeah, she's calling the game herself.
Okay. Pitch comes, and another foul ball out of play down the first base line.
Fagino really making Sagarts work here in this bottom of the 7th inning with Lisa Smith on first base.
Nobody out, runner at first. And she goes off speed, and Fagino is way out in front. Ball not in the zone, goes down on strikes, and that is a big out.
third strikeout for Sagarts.
Rochelle Friend now to the plate, 0 for 2 on the game. Strike 1 called. Sagart's going right after this batter. On deck, Stephanie Rice, who was 0 for 3 today. Now you can just hear that fastball hit the glove right down the middle, and Friend just nothing she could do. 0-2. You can't leave the bat on your shoulder in this situation. Pitch comes and misses outside, but not by much.
Sagart's season low strikeouts is 8, and she only has 3 here this afternoon.
Pitch comes. Well, she's got number 4 right there. Friend swings and misses.
Chris, that's an impressive stat. Some pitchers don't even have a season high of 8. Her season low of 8.
Center fielder, number 3, Stephanie Rice.
So Stephanie Rice, the last chance here for the Wildcats. If she could get aboard, that would bring the tying run to the plate in the person of Jenny Marshall.
Chris, Sagarts has struck out 10 or more batters 17 times this season, including 17, a school record 17 against Hope College and also 17 against St. Francis of Illinois.
Want to remind you to stay tuned for the nightcap once this ball game is over. And we will see Wisconsin Eau Claire taking on Plattsburgh State in game number 12, our final elimination game of the day. The winner will advance, the loser will be done. First pitch to Rice, strike 1. Swing and a foul ball out of play to the left. So Wash U 1 strike away from becoming the lone remaining unbeaten in this championship tournament. Segarts wheels, kicks, fires, and misses outside. Rice stands in. Pitch comes. One hopper down to third. Over to first. In time, just barely. Kressel guns her out, and that will do it. Washington University in St. Louis advances. They will play for the national championship tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 East Coast time. And for Linfield, they will live to play another day, as they will play tomorrow at noon against the winner of the Plattsburgh State Wisconsin-Eau Claire game that is coming up. Game time slated for 7:30. Will probably be 5 minutes or so beyond that in getting started, as we're running a little bit behind today. All times East Coast times. So Gene Morano will be on the call for that ball game. We hope you will join us